gives me great pleasure to welcome Kathryn Shillito from HullBID. Kathryn, thanks very much for taking time out to put this together. Absolutely delighted to be speaking to you. Let's start off with HullBID. Can you tell me a bit about what HullBID's all about? And I'm especially interested in what I would describe as the hidden value, the stuff that you're doing that probably isn't that evident.
Well, HullBID represents about 760 businesses in the city centre, and all of those businesses pay a levy to HullBID, and that creates essentially a pot of money, and we invest that money into high-profile events, cleaning and maintenance schedule, lots of other initiatives and activity. But really the unseen value that we bring is being there for businesses where a point of contact, they may have issues around planning or a licensing application, or indeed want to know what's happening with the A63 or Castle Street, and really we have a finger on the pulse in what's happening in the city centre, and that's really down to being members of steering groups, of working parties. We have dialogue regularly with the Mite and Ward councillors that represent the city centre, and it's all of those negotiations, all of those discussions that give us a real insight about what's happening in the city centre, and we in turn can share that information with our businesses, and anywhere where we think it might cause conflict or where we think there could be potential a business interest, we'll certainly let our members know what we know.
Well, that sounds like a lot of value, because a business on its own just could not do what you're doing as a collaborative. So there's a lot of value there that I certainly wasn't aware of, and I can say I wasn't aware that you've got the best part of 800 members as well. And I think to some people it's going to be a surprise just how big and strong that group is.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you know, we are the representative voice of those businesses, and we do have a big membership, and the stakeholders that we work with and have dialogue with, particularly Hull City Council, but other stakeholders like Humberside Police, the Civic Society, the NHS, we are representing a big chunk of the local community. So people do stand up and take note of HullBID. We're there for a purpose, and that's to serve our businesses, but always with the main interest of the business at heart.
One thing that's I think exciting a lot of people, it's really caught the imagination of the city, and I'm sure you're catching the buzz totally with your membership there. I wanted you to talk all about City of Culture. What's that mean? Where does HullBID take it? What's happening with City of Culture?
Yeah, well, Hull isn't a stranger to culture. We've been doing it very, very well for decades. Where HullBID comes into the picture, we put on our own high-profile events such as Fashion Week, the Food Festival, Hull Trinity Festival. All of these go into a calendar of activity that really does raise the profile of the city centre. So in some part, HullBID has played a part in the achievement of City of Culture. Our events have been built into the bid, and we can demonstrate that we get a high increase in footfall, and the businesses benefit ultimately off the back of it. But HullBID has many other collaborations. We work with Heritage Learning Services, we work with the museums, and actually we've done some really fabulous networking events with a cultural theme at heart. We did a fabulous event about Madame Clapham, the famous couturier that was born and bred in Hull. We did another event about the Needlers family, and of course the Needlers factory, which is very synonymous with employment in Hull. So we really play our part, I believe, and the networking events are firstly to introduce a lot of activity and cultural things that are happening in the city centre to our members. For example, we held a networking event at the Deep, and it was really to promote the incoming Gentoo penguins that were going to be one of the major attractions there. The Deep is one of our member businesses. The event that we've just hosted at Hull New Theatre, as part of that event, we gave all our attendees a free ticket to go and watch the ballet immediately afterwards. So what we're finding is these are great opportunities for our members to come and have a bit of a relaxing evening, but also to network with each other. So they're becoming very popular.
They've certainly caught my attention. Here's something that I'm intrigued about. Can you share a bit more, we spoke about it before about purple flag. We were talking about that before this interview about purple flag, and I think it's a very important story. Could you just share a little bit about that?
Yes, certainly. I think when you talk about unseen business that we work on, Purple Flag is the end result was great, but it actually took us and a group of stakeholders, including the police, the council, and various other bodies. It took us 18 months to actually get to the point where we achieved Purple Flag status. Now, that didn't come lightly. The city streets had to be clean and tidy. The lighting had to be improved. We had to really make sure that the assessors knew about the vibrancy, not just about being able to go to a bar for a drink, but all the early evening activity from live music on Prince's Dock Street to college performances that were happening in the city centre. So Purple Flag was the result of a lot of hard work behind the scenes. We get inspected every 2 years, and we're due for inspection again this year. And so the work has to continue. We have to still maintain the standard that we're at now, but also, as we get towards City of Culture, build more and more on the great results that we have already. Purple Flag was a big part of the City of Culture bid. We needed to demonstrate that the city centre, particularly on an evening, was a very safe place to be. And the police have worked magnificently to create that sense of well-being, create that sense of immediate action if drink-fueled behaviour, antisocial behaviour is happening, to get it out of the city. And if you've got thousands of people coming in, you want to make sure that your city centre is a safe place to be. And Purple Flag really demonstrates that it is.
I think with the City of Culture not really that far away from us, really, the Purple Flag initiative is pretty much mission critical if we want people from outside the region to come and pay us a visit. Speaking as someone from outside the region, we've had the City of Culture Award, which is tremendous. It looks like the football team staying in the Premiership. We've had the great news about Siemens, so it kind of feels like there's lots of good stuff going on. Can you just share a little bit about the future and the vision that HullBID has for the city centre?
I think there's been a lot of excitement for some years in Hull. The Premiership Football Club is brilliant. Then getting City of Culture, and then the Siemens, really the decision, it was the icing on the cake. I think people are genuinely excited. They see the potential, and certainly City of Culture obviously will bring millions of pounds of revenue. Everybody will be affected by it in one way or another, in a good way. I think the Siemens decision is superb. More jobs for Hull residents, Hull people, the supply chain, there'll be more expected around that. And I just think there is a real feel-good factor at the moment, and yeah, it's just superb for the city.
Well, Kathryn, in closing, for anyone that's not familiar with HullBID, could you just give us a couple of headlines why they should get involved?
We're there to support our businesses. We're at the end of a phone or an email. Anybody can get in touch with any member of our staff, whether they're foot-based or office-based. We're there to support business, and that's a key part of our remit.
Can I thank you very much for taking time out to be in here, and sorry that you couldn't make the event today, but you've shared a lot of great information there, so thanks very much, Kathryn.
Thank you. Thanks.